We're going to take this, which is an Baggs Stage Pro Anthem, and put it into this. That's a Cordoba Pro-F Flamenco. Got two of them. One I use in the studio and the other one I use for performance or live performance. And I usually use large condensers or small condensers, whatever I have, and that works for the occasion. But as you play with other people and perform with other people, it becomes somewhat problematic because of the feedback and whatnot. So we're going to try this, and I'll take you through it. First thing you do is you remove the strings. You need to modify the bridge here. It needs to be lowered just a little bit because we'll have a little piezo or piezo, depending on how you pronounce it, underneath here. And we'll have an under the saddle pickup as well underneath. But this is step number one. So here are the parts that the box comes with, or the Stage Pro Anthem comes with. First and foremost, comes with the templates that you cut out and use to cut your hole on the top of the guitar. Comes with a little device or screwdriver looking thing that you can change the balance between the two mics. A box of hardware to secure the wires and to screw in the pickup itself. And of course we have the 1/4 inch TRS or TS, depending on how your hookup is, that will connect the pickup itself to the cable that how you plug it in on stage. That will need to have a hole cut in down at the bottom of the guitar, about here. It comes with a true mic that goes under the saddle. It comes with a piezo or piezo, depending on how you pronounce it, that goes under the bridge. And then of course it has the unit itself. So that is what comes in the package. Now we'll start to mark the first ones. I would suggest before you drill, sand, scrape anything anywhere on your guitar, use painter's masking tape. It will just, in case you drop something close to, scratch, whatever, it is a really neat barrier of scratch, dent, not necessarily dent, but scratch protection. Hole is measured in the middle, and then I will start by making a little tiny hole and then work it way up. Go backwards in the beginning to make sure that the drill bit does not catch. Hole is not drilled. It drifted slightly off center, and rather than try to force it back, I just left it there. It's still within the brace on the inside, so we're good. All backwards drilling, nothing forward. You will flake it and pop the finish, but you can see that that's the arsenal of the drill. I started with this little tiny one and ended up with this one here in the end. So all backwards. If you're ever in doubt, the files cat, one thing that I do is I use the screw setting on the drill, and then I go to the lowest torque. So in case it does grab, it will actually grab the clutch rather than splinter anything on your guitar. That is now in, and apologize again for the offset. It didn't. It's about 1.5 millimeters off center, but I'm all right with that. Rather than try to force it and make it go. So when you're a garage gangster and use your everyday tools that you have available, that can drift a little bit off center, and it did in my case, but that is okay. I'm all right with that. So on the inside, the cable comes out here, and that will obviously plug into the little preamp that's going to sit up here. We have a brace that we need to go around, but we'll figure that out as well. Next is the piezo or piezo. We're going to drill a hole for the wire to come in here. I found that over the years of putting different bridges on guitars, lowering the action, raising the action, whatever the purpose is, rather than file your existing bridge, leave that one be and simply make a new one. So here's in the forefront here, in the front part of the picture is the original bridge, and there's a new piece of bone for the back side here, or on the back side. It's been elevated by the thickness of the piezo by this little template, and then I'll simply just trace a line and cut a new one, actually sand it. See ya. And there's the new bridge on the bottom and the old bridge on the top. It is about 1 millimeter 1.25 millimeters thinner on the bottom, or not as tall, should I say, to make room for this. That's going to go underneath. Then you drill, instead of a 90-degree drill in, you angle it slightly like this. I want to say 75 degrees or so. 75 degrees, and different people do it different ways. I'm not going to say mine is better than anybody else's, but a lot of people will drill it inside the bridge. I prefer to build it outside. Aesthetically, you can see a tiny hole, or half of a hole, once the bridge gets down. I'll give you an idea how that looks. This is how it'll look to you. But I prefer, for giving some cosmetics and getting the full contact on the full bridge, not even a few millimeters short. Different philosophy, and mine is not better than anybody else. That's just how I did it. So that wire then comes out here, and that'll be the other wire that goes in to the pickup. Then you got to position the template for the cutout, and I have a brace that goes right here that I didn't want to mess with. So I took a little drill from the inside and just hand drilled and found that it comes out to about here. Then you center it. Now you have a pilot hole in the middle, and then I'll tape the whole thing off and mark it. There the hole is marked, so you want to dig on the inside of that blue line. Now you can score it. You can kind of do whatever suits you. I find with the old-fashioned hacksaw way that I'm going to drill mine here, that it's just a lot easier to use a fat marker and go on the inside, because that way sawdust is not covering it. Different technique again. This is what worked for me last time I installed one of these, and it turned out pretty good. So now we go on to cutting. And so one hole is cut. My method, you said? Well, router bit and a Dremel. Actually, this is a Craftsman, a little bit bigger than a Dremel. Maybe not for the faint-hearted, and you can see the lines are not super straight, but you know, the time you save doing this than cutting with a saw, which I've done on my other guitar that I put this in, I think it is so easy just to simply get another bit on the Dremel and just slowly sand it out to where it needs to be. The template here is a little bit bigger than the hole, quite a bit actually, you can see. So I do prefer to go on the inside, and then I'll just custom fit the hole, keep pushing the pickup up. And so anyway, once you put it in, the bezel on the top will cover whatever, and then it'll be nicely sanded. So anyway, on to custom fitting. And it has been now custom fit. You can see it's still a little bit bigger. The hole is a little bit bigger. And then I had a brace. I unfortunately had to just trim a very little piece off. The other option was to move this further forward, but due to the curvature on the guitar, that wouldn't work. So anyway, it's something that had to be done. But anyway, there it is, and you can see the perhaps brace. Now you can't. So, but anyway, now it's time to fit it. And there it is. Tape is removed. Turned out pretty dang good for a freehanding router with a Craftsman's or Dremel style, I would say. You can see a little bit here, but you know, I'm alright with that. This little ding here is the pilot hole I drilled from the inside. I didn't drill it all the way through, but just to identify where the brace was, and then these 2 points lined up. And of course, once the unit gets in it, it'll be like this. So let's fit the pickup in. And there it is. Turned out really good. And there it is. Turned out really good. Just very good fitment, didn't have to do anything really, but it's all in there. So now we're going to connect all of the utilities and we're going to put the true mic underneath the saddle. This is going to be a fun exercise. I don't know if you can see it, but this is a flamenco guitar and the bracing is not what this pickup is made for. I have a fan brace on the bottom, pattern rather, and I had to, instead of have this true bridge out just like you would on a regular guitar parallel to the sound bridge, I couldn't do that. So it's kind of diagonally. This is the best picture I can get out of it. Let me see. Yeah, it looks like I'm losing battery here. Sorry for the bad quality. But due to the fan bracing, I simply could not put it where it's meant to go according to the instructions, but I think it'll be just fine. Well, of course, we'll try that later. And there it is, all finished. So I'll just goof around a little bit for the first time. And mind you, I'm going to plug it in for my electrical setup. I don't want to hook up with the other stuff. So it's going through a Boss Katana 100 Mark II and a couple small pedals for a little loopster. See ya. New strings. Drifting quite a bit. Thank you.